Hi friends, welcome back to another Bible journaling video. Today I'm journaling in my new King James Version Journal the Word Bible, the very first journaling Bible I ever owned. This Bible is really precious to me because I was able to buy it with a gift card from my sister-in-law at a time when we couldn't afford for me to get a journaling Bible. I'd been wanting to start Bible journaling for a while, and the gift made it possible. So every time I open this Bible, it's a reminder of God's provision through the people around me. Before I begin journaling, I always start by highlighting the verses I'm focusing on. It helps them stand out from the page and centers my heart in the scripture before I start the creative part of the entry. This week's passage is 1 Chronicles 29:12 and 13. In the Holman Christian Standard Bible it says, "Riches and honor come from you, and you are the ruler of everything. In your hand are power and might, and it is in your hand to make great and to give strength to all. Now therefore, our God, we give you thanks and praise your glorious name." I love how these verses pull our focus back to where it belongs, on God's power, His generosity, and the strength He gives. Everything we have comes from His hand, and the only fitting response is thanksgiving and praise. Most of the time, I start my journaling by penciling in what I want on the page. And if you notice here comes my manager. She's always popping her head in and helping out and keeping me company. She thinks she belongs in every project and everything deserves her attention. I do have another cat, and maybe you'll see her someday, but she's a little more camera shy. For this page, I pulled out my InkJoy gel pens for lettering. They're really affordable. You can pick them up at Walmart, and they write really well. They do ghost a bit on Bible pages, but unless you're really heavy-handed like I am, they won't bleed. I tend to press down harder, so some of my first strokes did bleed a little, and that's totally okay. Bible journaling isn't about perfection. It's about spending time with God, meditating on His Word, and offering Him praise in a creative way. After I finish writing with the InkJoy pens, I go back and erase the pencil letters I initially sketched in. Once the eraser shavings are on the page, I use a soft makeup brush that I got from Dollar Tree to gently sweep away all the debris so I don't smudge anything and to avoid getting more oil than necessary on the pages. Next, I added a soft background using eyeshadow. It blends nicely on the Bible paper and gives a gentle wash of color without bleeding through. You can also use mica powder for this process, but eyeshadow is affordably available from Walmart, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, and you can get some really fun colors this way. I tried a few different ways to apply the eyeshadow. I started with the little applicator that came with it, then switched to a Q-tip. But once I realized just how big the area was, I knew I needed a different approach. So I used the Q-tip to loosen some of the powder, tapped it onto the page, and blended it out from there. Sometimes you have a vision and an idea, and you have to just kind of figure it out as you go. I almost forgot to add the date, so I grabbed a Sharpie gel pen and wrote it in rather than dragging out my stamp. After that, I take a paper towel and gently rub the page to lift away any extra eyeshadow. It softens the color and keeps it from transferring onto other pages. I also tucked a clean piece of paper towel between the pages just for a little extra protection, and I'll remove that the next time I work in this Bible. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If you enjoy Bible journaling, lettering, and creative faith projects, I'd love for you to stick around. There's more to come each week. And if this video encouraged you, please consider liking the video, sharing it with a friend, and subscribing for more Bible journaling content. May these verses remind you today that everything is in God's hands and He is truly worthy of our thanks and praise.